This is Mike from Maserati, and this is Pretty Noise. Is that good?
Yeah, that's
Nice! I'm in a couple different bands in Athens. We all work together at the same club, pretty similar to the club we're playing at tonight, like similar size. And I was in this band, Cinemechanica, which is like a kind of mathy, post everything sort of band. And we actually played our first big Athens show with Maserati in 2004, I think, if I had to just throw a number out. But I've known the guys forever, and do you know the backstory how like their old drummer passed away pretty tragically? This guy Jerry Fuchs, really close friend of mine. He was in like a Chick Chick Chick, Turing Machine, Maserati. It was pretty big time player, but also just like a really good close friend. And he passed away after doing Pyramid of the Sun, which is the record before the new one. And they went through like a pretty long period of mourning, and like maybe 2 years later, they finally had written some new material, and they just asked me if I wanted to, see what it would sound like with me playing over it. And so I was excited and did it, and one thing led to another, and now got the job. Maserati, I can definitely say, both as a fan and as somebody, because I was a fan of the band for 10 years. It's a long time to be a fan before you end up joining. They really have done a good job of not making the same record twice. Each record really has its own personality, and you can hear it changing across the course of the band, which was really exciting for me. It's like if I've been in the studio, because I also record like an engineer and do records and stuff, and if I've just been doing record after record back to back, or even like because I'm in a ton of different bands, like if I'm just having band practice back to back, I really like to get out and get on the road. But now I've been on the road for like almost like 9 weeks or whatever, and I'm pretty excited about going home and writing and having some normalcy to my life. But I think both are important and healthy, and if you're gonna sign on, for the whole thing and adapt your life to be able to tour, you need to tour. You shouldn't get a crappy job that will let you go on tour and come back and still give you your job back if you're then gonna never go on tour, because then you just have a bad job and you're not. There's no reason to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because touring, I don't know how it is over here, but in the States, like in order to tour, until you're at a pretty high level that we have definitely not reached yet, you need to have something to fall back on when you get back. You need to, have a day job. But the trick is finding a day job that doesn't fire you when you disappear for 2 months. So I teach music at a music school, and I have a really cool arrangement with them, and I have a sub who comes in and covers for me, and so on and so forth. But it's a pain. It's tough. It's not easy. To me, it's all about arranging your life in a way that enables you to be ready if it hits. Does that make sense? It's like I am in like 6 different bands. I have all these different income streams. Like I do music for video games, which is like totally freelance. So I can kind of like grab one of those gigs and set it up months ahead of time, so I know I get home at the end of January. For all of February, I'm doing this game. I can get paid, and then I go out again in March. You know what I mean? Like, or teaching or whatever. I think a lot of young bands get frustrated early on that the shows are so small and they don't make any money, and it's really a grind. Like I did it when I was 22. We were grinding, like no guarantees, nowhere to stay, sleeping on the worst floors in the entire world, et cetera, et cetera. It's just like everybody kind of has to pay their dues through that state. But if I had to do it again, I would have a much clearer idea of how to keep myself supported while I was doing that, because I was constantly like working some terrible job, go on tour, get fired, come home, have no job, have no money. I lived in a water heater closet for a year, but my rent was $60 a month, so it was like I basically had no overhead. So whenever tours happened, I was able to jump on them and not have to worry about it. But now, like, I'm older, I want to have health insurance, I want to have a dog, and so all these things become responsibilities you have to take care of. But a lot of times I don't really feel like if your band is awesome, taking for granted that your band is like working its ass off and is writing music that can succeed, that's usually not the problem. The problem is all the rest of the life stuff that you have to get in order to be able to go and tour. And after that, you just gotta like get out there and reach out through every possible channel, internet, live shows, every possible way, and get to know local promoters. Like we just built relationships with bands, because so many young bands will come to a town and be like, we want to, they'll call up the club we all work at, for instance, and they're just like, we want a show on the 15th. Can you give it to us? And the club is like, well, yeah, but nobody knows who you are. You're not going to draw anything. You guys are 1,000 miles away from home. Can you get a local on the bill? So the key is like, you play that terrible show once. You beg and borrow or play at a DIY house space or which way you can. You get into that town and play. And hopefully that first show, somebody says, that was great. Nobody came. You guys are awesome. You need to play with my friend's band next time you come through. So the next time you come through, you play with them. And then the next time they go on tour and come through, you hook them up with a show. And that's the first stage. The booking agents and the management and all that kind of bullshit is way down the road. Some bands get lucky and they immediately have all that. They just hit it and somebody throws money at their band and then that takes care of it. And that, that's a big deal. But if you're going to do it the real way, you just build up relationships with other bands and trade shows. And then hopefully eventually somebody in a real position of power, be it somebody in a really big band, or somebody who works at a cool label that, one of the few remaining labels that has some money to throw at a band, somebody takes notice and infuses you with money and contacts. But if you don't get out there, it never really happens. It's kind of the catch-22 of it. So, my advice to young bands is get a job that lets you tour and then do everything humanly possible to meet people who do good shows.
Nice.
Helps to work at a venue too. It really does. We signed 3 bands to the record label that I work for just from them coming through, playing to like 11 people, somehow getting a show, playing to 11 people, and then we signed them. And then the next time they came through, they played with us and played to 200 people. And when we went to Boston, we played with them and played to 200 people instead of playing in a Chinese food restaurant like the first time we played. I mean, it's not magic, It's just you have to meet people who are also working their ass off, and then you just hope that one of your group of friends hits it and just grabs everybody and pulls them on up. I hate that I'm the only one who snores, but I'll asterisk that because it really sucks when we're in the States because we only end up with one hotel room that we're paying for. It's not like in Europe, where in Europe they throw hotel rooms and food and you're just treated like the greatest. You treat it like you're in a huge rock band, even if you're in a very much mid-sized rock band like our band. I'm just saying, like in the States, to get the kind of treatment that we receive here, you'd have to be a pretty huge band. For real. It's just harder. So when you only end up with one hotel room, there's usually 2 beds, and there's 5 people, because there's like either a sound guy or a driver, plus the 4 of us, and I always get stuck like under the sink in the bathroom because I snore so intensely that I wake everybody up if I sleep in a bed. So it sucks because night after night in the States, like I play really hard and I get really tired and then I have to sleep on the floor. But I get it back when we come over here because like we come over here and we get like 3 hotel rooms. What ends up happening is I always get my own room because they isolate me. So it's like the whole U.S. tour, I just pay sleeping on the cement while everybody else gets a bed. But you come over here, I get my own room every night, which for like tour sanity, like just having a few minutes when you can like be by yourself and like clear your head and clear your thoughts and not have to be somewhere right here, right now, and everybody's waiting on you. It's like insanely helpful. So I get it both ways, but I can definitely tell you that my snoring is the worst part of being in Maserati. Because they just like throw shoes at me and wake me up. Wake up, dude, you're snoring so bad. I'm just like, oh, kill me.
Nice.
I mean, I love being in this band. This band's really fun. It's fun to play live. It's especially when we have a bass player. And the dudes are all old friends of mine, you know, and everybody who's in this band has done a lot of touring, you know, and just like me, they've done the like sleeping on the floor every night, not getting paid anything, all the way through to like playing some really good shows across Europe now. So everybody's like just got their act together. Everybody knows how it works and is responsible, you know, like a lot of being effective on tour is just being personally responsible, not losing stuff, not leaving your cosmetics bag, your toothpaste bag every single night having to rebuy toothpaste, which like early on I just like left everything everywhere, you know. But eventually you just get it down, you get your routines down. It's a good band, man. It's a really good band to be in. It's good dudes.